Okay, welcome back. If you've been following along, this is the Book Advent Challenge. My husband is buying me 24 books leading up to Christmas. I've already done part 1 and part 2, and now it's time for books 13 through 18. Let's get into it. We have Otherlife by Jason Segel and Kirsten Miller. This was interesting to me for a few reasons. One, Jason Segel is one of the authors. He co-wrote The Muppets. So I was like, that's kind of cool. And he starred in How I Met Your Mother. So I was like, okay, let me kind of tell y'all what this is about. First of all, my husband did not know this, but this is actually a sequel to Otherworld and Other Earth. So hopefully it's a standalone novel. I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with it, but here is the synopsis. People still seem to think the world will end with an explosion of some sort, but that's not going to happen. Technology will destroy us the day we can't tell the difference between the real and the unreal. Sound like now. Simon, Cat, Busara, and Elvis are on the run with the tech supervillains at the company hot on their heels. The new VR gaming experience created by the company Other Earth will change how the world experiences gaming. Paired with the hardware the company developed, it has the potential to alter our reality forever. The company is on its way to becoming the world's newest superpower, and Simon is determined to shut them down forever. But to do that, he would have to survive Otherlife, the next phase of gaming, and complete reality reboots. This synopsis is giving Ready Player One. Like, I'm super excited. Again, this is right up my husband alley. He did not know this is a sequel, so I'm hoping it's one of those sequels that's kind of like a standalone novel too. But yeah. Next, we have The Giver. This is a book I've been wanting to read for years. You hear me? Years. This was not a required reading for me when I was in school, but a lot of people claim this to be their favorite book of all time. A lot of people draw on the wisdom that they got from this book, and I've heard really great things from it. It's a classic. I'm excited to get into this. Let me read y'all the synopsis. If you don't already know, chances are y'all have probably read this, but here we go. Jonah's world is perfect. Everything is under control. There is no war or fear or pain. There are no choices. Every person is assigned a role in the community. When Jonas turns 12, he is singled out to receive special training from the Giver. The Giver alone holds the memories of the true pain and pleasures of life. Now it's time for Jonas to receive the truth. There is no turning back. Can't wait to get into this. Can't wait. Again, everybody and their mama know what this book is, but I've never read it. So this was a really good pickup. We've actually talked about this book. Me and my husband were talking about this book a few weeks back, and he asked me had I read it. And I'm like, no, I never read it. Didn't expect it to show up on this list, though. So very excited about this. This next one. Before I show y'all, let me just give you a little foreshadowing. I've never read this, obviously, but this is a thick book. When I first got it, I'm like, man, this is thick. And after I read the synopsis and I know what it is, but I never read it, my husband was like, it's 6 books. That's really 3 books because each book has 2 books. Do you know what it is? Lord of the Rings, the complete trilogy. I don't know how that worked yet, but I'm excited to get into it. This thing is monstrous, but I'm excited. I'm sure, again, if you're watching this channel, if you're alive during this century, I'm sure you know what Lord of the Rings is. And after I read this, it's only right to watch all the movies, but here is the synopsis. In ancient times, the rings of power were crafted by the elven smiths, and Sauron, the Dark Lord, forged the one ring, filling it with his own power so that he could rule all others. So the ring to rule all others. Which this book was actually just referenced in a Stephen King book that I read, which was Insomnia. But anyways, but the one ring was taken from him, and though he sought it throughout Middle Earth, it remained lost to him. After many ages, it fell by chance into the hands of the hobbit Bilbo Baggins. From his fastness in the Dark Tower of Mordor, Sauron's power spread far and wide. He gathered all the great rings to him, but always he searched for the one ring that could complete his dominion. On Bilbo's 11th birthday, he disappeared to journey across Middle Earth deep into the shadow of the Dark Lord and destroy the ring by casting it into the cracks of doom. The Lord of the Rings tells a great quest undertaken by Frodo and the Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah. Just like The Giver, so many people have said that this book is one of their favorites. I'm constantly hearing being talked about. And let me just break down the book. So book one. Okay, in the first portion of this book, it's called The Fellowship of the Ring. You have book one and book two. And then you have The Two Towers, which contains book three and book four. And then you have Return of the King, which contains book five and book six, and then appendices. It's a big one. I'm excited because I know I like the story and the type of story. I have no clue how this author writes, but I know in general I like the storyline from what I've gathered over the years. So excited to read this. It's overdue. Honestly, I should have been read it, but here we are. Okay, next we have Such a Fun Age by Reid. After I shared this on my Instagram page, so many people told me that they actually didn't like this book. And so now I'm like, I hope I like it. I mean, I could. I like a lot of books that some people wouldn't like, but I've heard that, and I haven't heard that from any other book that I've gotten over this challenge. So this is by far the least liked that I've received, but seems kind of interesting though. So here is the synopsis. What happens when you do the right thing for the wrong reason? Alex Chamberlain is a woman who gets what she wants and has made a living with her confidence-driven brand, showing other women how to do the same. Sound good, right? So she is shocked when her babysitter, Emma Tucker, is confronted while watching Chamberlain's toddler one night, walking the aisles of their local high-end supermarket. The store's security guard, seeing a young black woman out late with a white child, accuses Emma of kidnapping 2-year-old Briar. A small crowd gathers. A bystander films everything, and Emma is furious and humiliated. Alex resolves to make things right. But Emma herself is aimless, broke, and wary of Alex's desire to help. At 25, she is about to lose her health insurance and has no idea what to do with her life. When the video of Emma goes public and unearths someone from Alex's past, both women find themselves on a crash course that will append everything and think everything they think they know about themselves and each other. Like, to me, it sounds good. Like, the synopsis sounds good. It's full of people saying how great it is. The author is a black woman. Okay, the author. I'm interested. So many people messaged me and said they didn't like this book. And that is a first for this entire series. So, I don't know what's in these pages. I can't wait to get into it because, like I said, the synopsis sounded good, but like, what's in it though? I don't know. The cover, gorgeous. Let me see. Oh, look at how cute this is. I love when it's cute outside of the dust jacket. Like, come on. It's cute. Anyways, excited to get into that. And the final book that we have this go around, again, I'm doing them in groups of 6. I'm missing a book. Hold on. Oh, that's right. I take that back. I'm doing them in groups of 6, and I actually skipped a day, so let me go back. We got Tarzan. Tarzan of the Apes. This book it's been around a while. I'm sure everybody's seen some variation of the movie, maybe read this book. but it has a lot of controversy around it. You know, I've never read it, but here's the synopsis. Tarzan of the Apes, deep in the savage African jungle. The baby Tarzan was raised by a fierce she-ape of the tribe Kershak. There he had learned the secrets of the wild to survive, how to talk with animals, swing from the trees, and fight against the great predators. He grew to the strength and courage of his fellow apes. And in time, his human intelligence promised him the kingship of the tribe. He became truly Lord of the Jungle. The men enter his jungle, bringing with them the savagery of civilized greed and lust, and bringing also the first white woman Tarzan had ever seen. Now, suddenly, Tarzan had to choose between two worlds. The main reason I'm excited to get this book is because I feel like with books that I've already learned, like I already know about them through other mediums. So like I've seen like 5 Tarzan type movies. I've heard about this story a lot. I've seen a discourse around this book, but I personally have never read the book. So I'm excited to read the book. You know, I feel like it's long overdue. That's why I'm excited that he got me this. I'm actually shocked that he got me this, but I'm excited too because now I can have an informed opinion when I'm giving my 2 cents on the subject. So it's a good pickup. Lastly, this is the 6th book that I was gifted in this group of challenges. So really, this is book 18, but in this video, it's book 6. Seed. Look at this cover, first of all. Seed by Rob Ziegler. This cover is doing it for me. Like, it's definitely giving dystopian. It's giving apocalyptic. It's giving survival, fight to the end. It's just doing it. It's doing it for me. Yeah, it's doing it for me. Let me read y'all the synopsis. Yeah, okay. It's the dawn of the 22nd century and the world has fallen apart. Decades of war and resource depletion have toppled governments. The ecosystem has collapsed. A new dust bowl sweeps the American West, and the United States has become a nation of migrants, starving masses of nomads who seek out living in desert wastelands and encampments outside of government seed distribution warehouses. In this new world, there's a new power. Satori is more than just a corporation. She is an intelligent, living city that grew out of the ruins of Denver. Satori bioengineers both the climate-resistant seed that feeds a hungry nation and her own post-human genetic designers, advocates, and laborers. What remains of the United States government now exists solely to distribute Satori seed. A defeated American military doles out barcoded, single-use Satori seed to the nation's starving citizens. When one of Satori's designers goes rogue, an ex-Army Ranger turned glorified bodyguard is tasked with the government to bring her in. The government wants to use the designer to break Satori's stranglehold on seed production and reassert themselves as a center of power. This sounds good. This sounds real good. It reminds me of, is it Monsanto? Whatever. Anyways, I'm excited to read this. Let me see what it looked like underneath this. Ooh, I love when you strip it down and it still look good. It's just, I love it. It's a little torn. It's okay. We love secondhand books. But look at this. It's still gorgeous. Very excited to read this. It's another thing that's right up my husband's alley. Another thing. Let me see. Yeah, well, that is it for today. Let me kind of stack them up in a neat order so y'all can see. We can get that final look, you know. I think he's doing great so far. Like, for real. He's doing a good job. Let's see. Slowly. What if this just fall? He's doing a good job. Clap. The next video you'll see, or installment of this series, will be the final one. That'll be book 19 through 24. So I'm sad to see it coming to an end, but I have so many good books. I'm already working through book number 2, which should take me a few more days to finish, and I'll be putting up reviews of those books, so y'all stay tuned.